Hello everyone, this is Paul and you're watching Village Educatella. In this today video session, I would like to discuss the topic of Bellman-Ford algorithm, which was developed by using the technique of dynamic programming. Before going to the topic, do subscribe my channel, like the video and press the bell icon for my notifications. Now let us discuss the topic of Bellman-Ford's algorithm. Coming to the introduction part of Bellman-Ford's algorithm. So a Bellman-Ford algorithm helps us to find the shortest path from one vertex to all other vertices of a weighted graph. While in Floyd-Warshall algorithm, we will find the shortest path for all pairs of vertices, but in Bellman-Ford algorithm, we will find only the shortest path from a particular vertex to all other vertices of a weighted graph. It is like a Dijkstra algorithm, but there is a small difference between Dijkstra and the Bellman-Ford algorithm. It is similar to Dijkstra algorithm, but it can work with graphs having the negative weights. So the graphs which are having the negative weights are solved by using Bellman-Ford algorithm, but the graphs in which we doesn't have the negative weights can be solved by using Dijkstra algorithm. What is the use of having the negative weights? So here I have an example. For example, if we consider a set of chemical reactions where we need only the minimum amount of energy. So for getting the minimum amount of energy, we have to factor the heat absorption as the negative weights. So here I am taking the heat absorption as the negative weights and the heat released as the positive weights, so that I will get the minimum energy when the absorption energy is taken as negative and the released energy as the positive weights, so that I can get the minimum energy. I hope you understood it. Bellman-Ford algorithm works by overestimating the length of the path from the starting vertex to all other vertices. So how this Bellman-Ford algorithm works? So in the initial step, it will make the all weights of the vertices as infinity, and then it will relaxes each of the vertex. So when I am explaining the example, you can understand it very clearly. Then it iteratively relaxes those estimated values. That means by finding the paths that are shorter than the previously overestimated paths. So actually we are estimated those values as infinite, but we will have the edges which are less than infinite, and we are going to relax those particular vertices with the relaxed values. I hope you understood. Why should we need to be careful about the negative weights? So in a graph we have the negative weights, so we should be careful about those negative weights. Why? Negative weight edges can create negative weight cycles. So the main drawback with the negative weights that it may create the negative weight cycle. So I will explain what is a negative weight cycle. Shortest path algorithms like Dijkstra algorithm that aren't be able to detect such a cycle can give an incorrect result, because they can go through a negative weight cycle and reduce the path length. So the Dijkstra algorithm can't detect the negative weight cycle. So the main drawback of Dijkstra algorithm is it couldn't work for this type of algorithms. Okay, so here I consider the cycle of 3, 1 and 2. So the total weight of this cycle is -1, -3 plus 2. So its value is equals to -2, which forms the negative weight cycle. So the graphs which are having the negative weight cycle doesn't work for this Bellman-Ford algorithm and or any other algorithms. So the main drawback in Bellman-Ford algorithm is it doesn't work for the negative weight cycle, because these negative weight cycles will reduce the path length. I hope you understood it. So the Bellman-Ford algorithm doesn't work for negative weight cycles, as well as Floyd-Warshall algorithm is also doesn't work for negative weight cycles. Now let us discuss the example how this Bellman-Ford algorithm works. So choose a vertex as a source and assign the values of all the vertices as infinite. Represent them in a table. So in this graph, all vertices are set to infinite except the source vertex. So here the source vertex is 0. So I keep that source vertex as 0 and kept the remaining vertices as infinite. That means here we are overestimating the cost of each vertex. So here we are estimating the each vertex cost as infinite. Coming to the second point, relax those estimated values by finding new paths that are shorter than the previously overestimated values. So for finding the shortest path, we have one formula. Distance of v is greater than distance of u plus edge weight of u to v. So here u acts as the source node and v acts as the destination node, and the edge weight between u and v is represented by using edge weight of u comma v. So if the vertex distance is greater than the distance of u plus edge weight of u comma v, then we are going to update the value of this destination vertex. Actually we make the vertices distance as infinite, so we are going to decrement these values by calculating the distances by using the source vertex and the edge weight length. So here I represented the edges of the particular graph. So the edge between 0 to 1 and 0 to 2 and 1 to 3 and 2 to 1, 2 to 3, 2 to 4 and 3 to 4, 3 to 5 and 4 to 5. So here I represented the edges. So by using these edges, I am going to find the shortest paths by relaxing the overestimated values. So here first initially 0 to 1. 0 to 1 means initially the cost of u is 0. So distance of 0 plus edge weight of u to v, that means 0 to 1. What is the cost of 0? Its cost is 0. And coming to edge weight, its edge weight is 5. So 0 plus 5 is equals to 5, but this value is less than infinite. So here we are going to update the value. So distance of v is equals to 5. So here I update the value as 5. Next, coming to the second edge, that is from 0 to 2. Here from 0 to 2 we have the edge weight as -2, and coming to the cost of source vertex is 0. So 0 minus 2 is equals to -2. So here we are going to update the destination vertex, that means 2, as -2. So here I updated the value. So now coming to the edge of 1 to 3. So 1 is u and 3 is v. So u acts as the source vertex and v acts as the destination vertex. So the edge weight between them is 1 plus distance of u. What is the cost of u? Its cost is 5. So 5 plus 1 is equals to 6. So here I am going to update the value as 6, because actually the previous value is infinite, so I am going to update it as 6. Next, coming to the vertex of 2 to 1. 2 to 1, its cost is 2. So the cost of 2 is equals to -2, and the cost of 2 to 1 edge is 2. So the value becomes as 0. So I am going to update this edge, that means the cost of this vertex, as 0. So here I am going to update it as 0. Next, coming to 2 to 3. What is the edge cost? Its edge cost is 4, and the cost of the source vertex is -2. So -2 plus 4 it's equals to 2. So here I am going to update the value as 2. I hope you understood it. Next, coming to the vertex of 2 to 4, its cost is 4. So -2 plus 4 is equals to 2. So here I am updating it as 2. So you may understood it by watching the graph and the table. Next, coming to 3 to 4. What is the edge cost from 3 to 4? Its edge cost is -1, and the cost of 3 is updated as 2. So 2 minus 1 is equals to 1. So I am updating the cost of fourth vertex as 1. Next, coming to 3 to 5. What is its cost? 3 to 5, its cost is 3, and the cost of the source vertex v is 2. So 2 plus 3 is equals to 5. So I am going to update the cost of fifth vertex as 5. Next, coming to 4 to 5. What is the cost of 4 to 5? Its cost is 1, and the cost of the source vertex 4 is 1. Okay, 1 plus 1 is equals to 2. So here I am going to update the value as 2. So the overall distances from the source to the remaining vertices are represented here. That means from 0 to 0 its cost is 0, and 0 to 1 its cost is 0. So for going to 0 to 1, we are going to 0 to 2 and then 2 to 1. So this is the actual process. Next, the cost of second vertex is, its cost is -2, and the cost of third vertex is 2. That means we are going from 0 to 2 and then 2 to 3. Next, the cost of fourth vertex. That means we are going from 0 to 2, 2 to 3 and 3 to 4. So -2 plus 4 minus 1 is equals to 1. So here its value is equals to 1. Then the cost of fifth vertex. That means 0 to 2 and 2 to 3 and 3 to 4, 4 to 5. So the value is updated as 2. I hope you understood it. Next, coming to the third step, repeat the step 2 till 5 times. So as this is the worst case scenario, we are going to find the cost repeatedly. That means up to 5 times. We have the 6 vertices, but one vertex acts as the source node. So 6 minus 1 is equals to 5. So we are going to repeat the values up to 5 times. So in the second step, the cost of 0 is equals to 0 and the cost of 1 is equals to 0. So here I will represent them. So 0, cost of 1 is 0, cost of 2 is -2, cost of 3 as 2, and the cost of 4 is 1, and the cost of 5 is 2. So by using the first step, we are going to relax the values in the second step. Cost of 0 to 1 is 0, and the cost of 0 to 2 is -2. The cost of 1 to 3 is 2, and the cost of the source vertex 1 is equals to 0, plus what is the edge length? Its value is 1. So actually this is greater than this value. So we are going to update this value here. So I am cancelling 2 and I am going to update this value as 1. Okay. Next, the cost of 2 to 1, its cost is 0. So by using this value only, we have calculated this value. And coming to 2 to 3, so actually 3 value is already updated, there is no need to change. And 2 to 4, there is no change. And from 3 to 4 we have the change because 3 is updated. So we are going to find the shortest path for 4. So from 3 to 4, the cost of the source vertex 3 is 1, plus what is the edge cost? That is -1. So this value and this value is cancelled, so it is updated as 0. So here it is updated as 0, and the weight of third vertex is also updated as 1. Coming to 3 to 5, the cost of source vertex is 1, plus what is the edge cost is 3. So actually this weight is greater than 2, so it doesn't change the cost of fifth vertex. Next, coming to 4 to 5, so the cost of fourth vertex is 0 and the edge weight is 1. So the total weight becomes as 1. 1 is less than 2. So here we are going to update the value as 1. Similarly, in third, fourth and fifth step, there are no changes. So the same values are updated as it is. So we find the shortest path from the source to the remaining vertices. So here I will show the path from the source to the remaining vertices. So from 0 to 0 its cost is 0, and from 0 to 1 its cost is 0. That means from 0 to 2 and 2 to 1. Okay, that means -2 plus 2, that equals to 0. Next, 0 to 2 its cost is -2, and 0 to 3 its cost is 1. So from 0 to 2, 2 to 1 and 1 to 3. So -2 plus 2 plus 1, its cost is equals to 1. Okay. Next, 0 to fourth vertex. So 0 to 2, 2 to 1, 1 to 3 and 3 to 4. Its cost is equals to 0. Okay. So here 1 minus 1 is equals to 0. Next, coming to fifth vertex, so 0 to 2, 2 to 1, 1 to 3, 3 to 4 and 4 to 5. That means 0 plus 1 is equals to 1. Okay, so in this way we can find the shortest path for the negative weighted graph.